House Republicans hosted a hearing with Stephanie Turner and the chairman of USA Fencing in the wake of a now viral incident in which Turner took a knee rather than compete against a transgender athlete. During the hearing, Republicans tried to build their case for banning transgender athletes from women's sports. Here's what happened. Republicans shared a letter they received from an Olympic fencing coach that stated transgender women have advantages over biological women, including body size, reach, shoulder width, muscle development, explosive strength, and recovery capacity. They cited a UN report that found women have been severely injured competing against transgender athletes and that testosterone suppression does not eliminate competitive advantages. They also pointed to a New York Times Ipsos poll from January that found 79% of Americans believe trans athletes should be banned from women's sports. Despite claiming the science and public sentiment backs their point of view, they still use divisive rhetoric to describe transgender athletes.
Now you're going to hear from our Democrat colleagues who are going to fight for these mentally ill biological men to continue beating women and stealing their competitions, stealing their medals, and stealing their national championships.
Democrats say Republicans are politicizing the issue. They pointed out that the hearing was being hosted by the Department of Government Efficiency Subcommittee within the House Oversight Committee, which is in charge of ensuring the executive branch and federal departments follow the law and do their duty.
And this hearing literally has nothing to do with that. In fact, it has nothing to do with anything that falls under the Oversight and Accountability Committee's jurisdiction.
As for Turner, she says there are 200 self-declared transgender athletes within USA Fencing, and she has long opposed competing against them.
It's unbelievably demeaning to female fencers to put down the differences between men and women and any woman's loss to a man as a skill issue, or that a woman simply needs to work harder.
The chairman of USA Fencing said the organization allows mixed bouts. He said gender does not provide an advantage when it comes to strategy and technique, and that other perceived inequalities are not what they appear.
Those bouts show that mixed gender competition, in fencing at least, does not pose any significant safety risks above and beyond single gender fencing competition. The same is true for fencing involving transgender participation. Additionally, while some attributes more common in men, such as height and physical strength, can certainly confer an advantage in a fencing bout, women more commonly exhibit other advantageous traits such as flexibility and agility.
Democrats also brought in the CEO of the National Women's Law Center, who said transgender athletes can be subject to discrimination and need protection in sports.
For example, denying trans kids the chance to find teammates who have their back, that's harmful. School officials secretly investigating girls' gender to make sure that they are feminine enough to play, that is harmful and that is dangerous.
23 states have laws that restrict transgender athletes from competing in sports leagues that do not match with their birth gender. There are efforts to pass laws like that in all 50 states. I'm Ray Bogan for Straight Arrow News. For more reporting, download the SAN app.